Hi there, and welcome to our Inspired Art writing theme on knights and castles. We've aimed this at Key Stage 1, but like with all of our themes, it can be adapted to any key stage. So this is a really exciting one for the children. They're going to learn how a castle functioned, the roles and jobs that took place in castles, and they're going to participate in an interactive game in which they're going to choose a soldier to break into the castle and let all the soldiers in so they can raid it and take it. The unit of study outcomes is here. So all of these outcomes here are going to be throughout the unit of study. Their final outcome is a non-chronological report, and the report will be about how to raid a castle. So how to attack a castle and how to defend a castle. We have the expected skills here that will occur in this non-chronological report, and the beyond expectation skills underneath. And here's our unit of study. We've got the national curriculum skills right here, and then our vocabulary here. So our expected vocabulary and our beyond expectation vocab here. Our homework opportunities, our thematic opportunities, and some of these actually will occur within the unit itself. And finally, at this point, we've got this final writing outcome, which we've already seen a non-chronological report. We'll just quickly go through the sessions together, just to get a firm idea of what to expect. So on session 1, if we look here, we've got our skills and our objectives. Then underneath, we have our outcome of the session. The middle bulk here is how to deliver the content. And the right-hand side, this column here, is all about how to use the stimulus. And we have these interactive, engaging scenes where we use various stimuli to engage and grab the children into their writing and reading. We'll look at that very shortly, but we've got all these resources here. Some of them are reading resources, some of them are writing resources, but each one goes alongside these sessions. So they're clearly labeled here. So session 5 is clearly here, and that will work alongside session 5 down here when they get to it. So as I said, this unit of study, first of all, they're going to learn all about the castle jobs, what people did within a castle and learn about that. They're going to do some comprehension activities on that. They're going to then write a monologue from the perspective of one of these workers. And there's another reading activity here. The health and well-being then on session 3. Going to session 4, then they're going to think about the castle itself and label a castle with simple sentences. Then we're working to session 5, where they learn about the process of how to become a knight, and they storyboard that. And as I've said, they're going to do all these activities. So this one here, session 6, writing a brief instruction manual, how to make a sword. And they're going to learn how to do that through these icons here. And they're going to go all the way down until they come to this little mini game, which is really exciting for them. They're going to click on these numbered icons here, and they're going to engage in choosing a soldier to break into the castle. Then they're going to do some sensory language on describing the actual castle siege. Then they're going to learn about the different types of soldiers who fought in castles. And then finally, as they work their way down, as I've said, they've got enough information then. They know how to raid a castle because they've actually engaged in an activity by choosing a character who raids a castle. So then they can write their non-chronological report. So as I've said, we'll go onto the scene. So all you do is click on this one here, Knights and Castle scene. Click on that, and you'll be launched then into our castle. There's actually 2 areas here. This is outside the castle. And then if I click on this button here, it's telling me to go inside the castle. So somewhere along the unit of study, it will tell you to flick between either this one or this one to get the correct perspective for the session. And as I've said, these numbered icons here, when you click on them, you're going to engage in activity. So if I click on the icon 2, I get to choose my character, and there's a session that runs alongside this. So if I read up on my pikeman, I've got all the information I need about him. If I choose him, I've got my statistics here. You can see on the right-hand side, I've got a bit of courage here, and we'll find out the pikeman is quite a courageous person, quite a courageous soldier. And we're all about trying to raid this castle. So when I go to icon number 3, it's telling me which route I'd like to choose to break into the castle. So I can either choose the ladder, the siege tower, or the tunnels. Now, depending on which character I've chosen, gives me a successful or an unsuccessful outcome. So if I just quickly read on this, it's telling me a bit of information about the tunnels. If I choose that, then I'm successful. I'm successful because the pikeman was correct to choose the tunnels. If I chose a different one, if I chose the siege tower, then you can see I'm unsuccessful here. He's not the right person. So the children here aren't just participating in this activity, they're actually deciding and making choices using critical thinking, using inference, and using retrieval along the way. When I then go to the next one on the unit of study, it's going to tell me to go to the inside of the castle. And now, because I've activated the icons, I've got this scenario that comes up. And again, I'm going to have a lesson based upon this activity. Finally, I've got to choose with the children which area of the castle I need to go to let all my fellow soldiers in. And of course, we know it's going to be the gatehouse. That's the area there. And you can see I'm successful. I look at my scores, and I've scored here 41 to 60%. And throughout the course, as they participate and engage in this activity, there's going to be some lesson outcomes for each session. So really, really engaging. Like I said, if I clicked on a different one, you can see here, I failed this scenario. All the way through, my statistics will be changing along the way. So I'm just going to show you this alongside the scheme of study, the unit of study. So on the right-hand side, you'll have the scene, and on the left-hand side, you'll have the unit. And so if I quickly go to session 1, it's telling me to click the introduction video first, as you can see there. So I'm going to watch that with the children firstly. And once they've seen that, it's then telling me to click on the question mark icon and then the curriculum reading icon. And I've got a little ebook here that I can print out for the children. And I've got then all the different jobs that takes place within the castle. And I've got some comprehension questions there, and I can print those off for the children. And we've got a nice comprehension session to begin our unit. When I come to session 2, it's telling me to click the find out icon. And then it's telling me to click on castle jobs. And I've got all these castle jobs. And the idea of this one, the children are going to read one of them, or as a class read 1 or 2 of them, and they're going to write a monologue from the point of view of someone who worked in the castle. When I come to session 4, it's now telling me to click the find out icon, and then the castle features icon. And I've got all these castle features. And for this unit here, they're going to label a castle because they've learned all about the different castle features. So really, really engaging. And I think it's in session, let's have a look, scroll down. Yes, it's session 8, where they start then to begin their activity in choosing their character to raid a castle, which I've just shown you. So from sessions 8 all the way to session 11, session 12, and then finally session 14, where they choose the gatehouse and they see their final scores. So there's a few sessions there where they're going to be doing that activity. And then finally, they're going to plan their non-chronological report and then write their non-chronological report on how to raid the castle. And by this point, they'll know a lot about castles, about jobs, who lived in them, and what they were used for, and how to raid them. And so that is our writing unit on knights and castles.